Okay, I have a couple of questions that have come in. How is the antibody testing going? How many have been tested? How are the results? And are we reaching herd immunity as everyone had hoped?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So, so we rolled it out, a week and a half, a couple weeks ago. As of yesterday, we had invited 3,000 of our 5,000 employees to be tested for the antibodies. Again, the blood test, and we don't do a finger prick. You come in, you get a full vial of a test tube of blood drawn for this particular test. Again, we started with all of our employees and physicians that had the greatest interaction with known COVID patients or suspected COVID patients. So that even meant, the housekeepers that clean the units, the phlebotomists, the lab, the imaging techs, anybody with the food servers, anybody coming into contact. So as of yesterday, I believe we had about 800 employees that have taken the test, and we have about 18 of them have come back positive.
18?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
So last week we had 400 that had taken the test, and only 8 of them tested positive for the antibodies. So now twice as many tests and just about twice as many positive. So it's a interesting low rate. I don't know if I was expecting more, but that would have meant, and again, the percentage of positive but asymptomatic patients, people talk as low as 5% to as high as 80%. And it's really that population that we were hoping to identify, that we were going to see a significant number of our employees that experienced no symptoms whatsoever, but had the virus and beat it and developed the antibodies, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah.
And these are the employees that had the greatest
So
exposure.
did they follow up though with more, I wonder if they're following up with more questions. So like if somebody has positive for the antibodies, I wonder, were you sick at all? Did you have these symptoms? That would be really interesting to know.
Yeah, and I think because the sample is still pretty small,
Right.
because our ideally we'd love all 5,000 employees and our 700 physicians and advanced practice providers to take it. Remember, it's not mandatory. It's totally voluntary, and again, provides you no assurances of immunity, partial or full. If you were immune, how long would it last? So we're always very careful to tell people it's really informational in nature, and we need probably more and more people to take it so we have a large enough sample so we can start doing the data dissection and trying to see what conclusions, if any, what does this teach us, what can this help us with the future. It is going to be interesting to see if when we're all said and done, that we do end up with a high percentage that were asymptomatic but have the antibodies.
Right, very